The brushes are a weapon class consisting of two unique weapons, the ink brush and octo brush. They started off being part of the roller class, but over time would slowly develop into their own unique class of weapons. Being oversized paintbrushes, they were able to be slid across the ground for fast transport, or flicked to deal high damage very quickly. While highly mobile, they had less range than most rollers. The brushes are a very popular class, especially in clam blitz due to their extremely high mobility. In fact, it can be argued that the ink brush has the most mobility in the game. However, for such a mobile weapon, what are its weaknesses, and where does it stand now? The brushes were one of the first weapons promised in Splatoon, and it would release without much excitement though. While they were good, they were outclassed by other things. They did have some good kits though, specifically the Ink Brush Novo, able to use its bubbler for itself to quickly move across the map and take fights that would be ludicrous for any other weapon to take. The Ink Brush is generally seen as a weak weapon though, and the Octo Brush Nouveau would be seen as the strongest brush because of this. Heading into Splatoon 2, the brushes weren't much to write home about and were sort of forgotten. In Splatoon 2, things would drastically change for the brushes though. Everything else became comparatively weaker, leading to it being a viable weapon. The Ink Brush also got its immunity to enemy ink here, and both brushes were able to brush at full speed on non-paintable surfaces. To make matters better, the Ink Brush and Octo Brush would get only buffs throughout the entire game's lifespan. Ink Brush had an incredible ability to kite players due to its high speed, and was able to distract the enemy team. By being enough of a nuisance, attention could be turned away from the real fight, and the Ink Brush's team could capture the objective or splat the enemy team. Unfortunately, the brushes would be cursed with mid-tier specials that led to it being used far less than it otherwise would. The Octo Brush was generally considered weaker than the Ink Brush due to its lower speed and mobility that its increased range simply didn't make up for. However, it would pale in comparison to the Ink Brush in one mode: Clam Blitz. The Ink Brush has an incredible ability to demolish Clam Blitz as a functioning game mode. In any lower level lobby, there is often an Ink Brush able to use its quick speed to get free clams into the basket. Nobody can catch it, and it often goes unnoticed. This game plan returns at higher levels too. After falling off as people learn to catch it, players spend enough time not worrying about it that they forget to worry about it and it returns, before it's beaten back one final time at top tier play. Outside of Clam Blitz, this wasn't nearly as big of an issue, but it really does hinder Clam Blitz as a fun game mode. However, one of the biggest problems for the brushes would come in its short range and not being able to hit specials. Inkjet and other specials like Bubble Blower would be hard for brushes to handle as their range doesn't permit them to hit the user easily. Overall, during Splatoon 2, the brushes would be solid options that could be used well by top tier specialists, but they were nothing too powerful. They were never nerfed because they simply didn't need any nerfs. However, Splatoon 3 would offer a chance to change this. The Splatoon 3 Ink Brush and Octo Brush have some of the strongest versions of those weapons yet. They are functionally the same as their Splatoon 2 counterparts, but have better kits and can take advantage of the extra movement potential their game offers. The base Ink Brush has Splat Bomb and Killer Whale, two incredibly useful tools for it. Splat Bomb offers long-range poking, and Killer Whale gives it an opportunity to close the distance to get it splat. As well, the new movement options makes it faster and harder to hit by enemies. The Ink Brush Nouveau got the Splatoon 2 kit back, Ink Mine and Ultra Stamp. This would be a better kit if Ultra Stamp wasn't so weak, given that it is shockingly easy to counter and leaves the user very vulnerable even in the front. The Octo Brush got Suction Bomb, one of the best bombs in the game. It can be used at long ranges and to clear off the tower easily. Even better, it is one of the best Zipcaster weapons in the game, able to use it to close the distance between enemies and rain terror on them. Overall, the kits and weapons themselves complemented greatly, and the brushes are in the best state they've ever been in Splatoon 3. In fact, they even got recognized as a separate class from rollers after a years-long wait. Overall, the future for brushes looks incredibly bright, and I'm excited to see them grow and develop as a weapon class in the future.